I declare this ceremony open for the conferment of degrees and diplomas. Mr. Mayor, Chairman of the Board of Governors, Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. Today is a celebration and a ceremony. Because it is academic success that we are celebrating, we continue the traditions of higher education and have a formal ceremony, and hence we wear our traditional academic and ceremonial robes. Unless the students may be feeling uncomfortable, I can assure you that this is not our daily wear also. Tradition, yes, but this city, this university college, and our partner, the University of Salford, we are all proud of starting new traditions. Salford has often been a city of firsts. In 1824, John Greenwood began his horse-drawn bus service between Pendleton, literally just up the road. The bus went from there to Market Street in Manchester. At that time, it was a small hackney coach, but it ran at stated times of the day and took up and set down passengers along the route. The fare was sixpence. It was the country's first true bus route. The horses, no doubt, would be frightened by today's traffic on the A6 outside. The Bridgewater Canal was opened in 1761. The canal ran from a certain place in Salford to Worsley Mill and Middlewood. The Duke of Bridgewater had financed the canal to carry coal from his mines in Worsley and Walkden into Manchester. It was the first canal to be constructed independently of a natural stream. That first, in its way, contributed to the industrialization of the city and the area, and perhaps to its consequent air pollution. And so it was that the first smokeless zones in the country were set up in Salford in 1955. And in 1972, this city became the first city in Europe to have an all-inclusive smoke control system. University College Salford is one of the 50 colleges of higher education in the university sector. Salford was the first of these colleges of higher education to champion the right to use the title University College. Sadly, the Secretary of State in recent months has not followed Salford's lead and has not allowed the colleges of higher education to obtain Privy Council permission for all of them to use the title. But there has been no legal challenge to our use of this title, and we proudly continue its usage. We believe that the Secretary of State knows that the pioneering spirit continues to survive in Salford. To the many BTEC students here today, I could say to you, I wish that BTEC showed the same pioneering spirit. Sadly, the Business and Technician Education Council have not felt able to use our proud title, University College Salford, on the certificates that you will be awarded today. But you will all find with your certificate that there is an appropriate certificate from the college which proudly does display the title. In Salford, we have formed the first formal federal partnership between a university and a college of higher education. I could say many things about the benefits of that federal partnership, but perhaps the best testimony to the benefits from that partnership are that from that first federation, we shall, in 1996, achieve another first in England when we create a new University of Salford by the complete merger of University College and the University of Salford. On a personal note, earlier this week I achieved my own first in Salford when I completed my first year as principal of the college. Why is Salford often a pioneer? Here in Salford, we believe in optimism, in change and innovation, and in realism. We believe especially in teamwork. Today, of course, we celebrate more than academic success. We celebrate the success of teamwork. We certainly celebrate the teamwork of parents, partners, and friends in the support that we know you will have offered to students during their time at college. We celebrate too the teamwork between students who work with one another and help one another and hopefully forge professional friendships that will stand them in good stead. We celebrate certainly the teamwork between staff and students. You may judge from what I have already said that we are particularly proud in Salford of the teamwork between University College, the University of Salford, and the City of Salford. We believe that through merger we shall produce a socially committed university working with the city to carry forward the city's regeneration plans and also produce a new university with national and international standing. We are especially pleased today, therefore, to have civic guests with us. Teamwork is a good basis for optimism. Optimism, of course, is not always easy to maintain in our society. We know that in the current economic climate, not all of our students will immediately find jobs. To those who have left full-time higher education and have found jobs, well done. To those still seeking jobs, carry with you the Salford optimism and sense of realism, and I'm sure you will succeed. Maintaining optimism about education in Britain is sometimes not easy either. Higher education has been facing a challenging time in this country. The government has been encouraging a move towards mass higher education, as they have called it. The growth in the last few years has been dramatic, and University College Salford has been fortunate enough to be one of the fastest growing colleges of higher education in the country. Indeed, in the university sector as a whole, there are now over 1 million students enrolled in this country. Everybody that I meet in higher education welcomes the challenge of offering higher education to everybody who can benefit from it. We are especially delighted in Salford at the very wide range of students we are able to honour today and tomorrow in our later ceremonies. We want to continue offering more places to school leavers and many more places to mature students, mature returners to study. Indeed, when we will merge with the university in 1996, we confidently expect that we'll have well above 15,000 students in the new institution. The major challenge to higher education, though, is to achieve those sort of growth levels, offer opportunity to students for learning, whilst maintaining the quality for which British higher education is renowned throughout the world. Quality depends on many things. It depends especially on staff and on students, and that's the basic reason for much of the optimism that we have in Salford. both the college and the university continue to have strong plans to improve our quality. But quality, of course, is not a free good. The government wants a mass higher education system and wants high quality. But we know from the recent past and from leaks about the forthcoming budget that the government does not wish fully to fund education and certainly does not intend fully to fund the expansion that is available in higher education. Our merger with the university will therefore be merely the beginning in Salford of further changes that will be needed to meet the challenge of higher education. The college and the university continue to look for innovative ways of achieving high quality with large student numbers. Salford teamwork gives us the optimism about our ability to continue to meet that challenge and to continue to grow and offer high quality. This hall is itself an example of teamwork and quality. The music you have already heard, the video that is being made, and the food that we hope later on you will partake, are all examples of teamwork between staff and students of the college. And indeed, we are in the Maxwell Hall of the university, demonstrating the teamwork between the college and our partner university. Music, videos, and food, perhaps those are proper ingredients for a celebration. I turn finally and especially to today's graduands. Teamwork, yes, but as you come on stage, that is your moment. Be proud of your individual success. We all congratulate you on that success.
Principal, on behalf of the Centre for Design, Manufacture and Technology, I present for the award of BTEC H&D the following. Sean Paul Browning, John Carter, Trevor Hong Foy Chung, Cornel Francis Finneran, Neil Fuller, Rachel Penelope Hammer, Kate Elizabeth Hardy, Eric Johnson, Christopher Jones, Claire Doreen Newton, Matthew John Powell, Warren Robert Rochford, Angela Marie Ryan, David John Shorman, Victoria Louise Stonehouse, Carl Wang Sang, Michael Howard Whittaker, and Janine Dunham. For the award of HND Design Fashion, Judith Allen. Julia Rosemary Beattie. Tracy Ann Bullpit. Andrea Dolores Fishley. Rosemary Ann Fluin. Karen Harrison. Naomi Hughes. Holly Lawrence. At the end. Bloody get on fire, right. Christine Susan Mayer. Sophia Miller. Jasvinda Kaur Obahi. Julian, sorry. Amanda Carol Robinson. Sharon Bridget Antonio Weishart. Amanda Wright. Vanessa Estelle Silcott. HND Graphic Design, Matthew Robert Barton. Annalise Brandt. Peter Stephen Dorr. Joanne Ellis. Samantha Wynne Evans. Anthony Michael Garden. Christopher David Harrison. Craig Robert Lynch. Justin Robert March. Raymond Retson. Trudy Simon. Mark Sean Robert Urey. Anthony Mark Watts. Peter John Wright. Yeah. HND Design Product Design. George John Clark. Jason Dunn. David Robert Ellis. Paul Gibson. Stuart Jones. John Henry Lambus, Jason Stewart Aidwell Mathy, John Moreau, Gabriella O'Hare, Carl Robinson, HND Engineering, Tony Shields, HND Engineering Audio Video Systems, Joseph Anthony Binks, Simon John Bowen, Bernard Doyle, Andrew Edward Gamble, Peter Morgan Gaunt, Daniel William Hall, Mark Hawkins, Gary Robert Holmes, Howard David Holt, Stephen Hughes, Jason Lee, Caroline Frances Maria Martin, Mark John Newman, Ian Curtis Robinson, Samantha Jane Rochford, Clifford Lewis Saunders, Philip Christopher Scowcroft, Mark Adrian Thomas, James David Wiltshire, HND Microprocessor Systems and Software Engineering, Kenneth Raymond Bauer, Damien Joseph Ball, George Yee, I might have, sorry, I'm just trying to get the right slips and I haven't got another slip. Colin John Damien, sorry, I haven't got. Sorry about that. I've got a slip.
Colin John Napier.
Oh, right, okay, thanks. Colin John Mentley. Napier, sorry. Right. HND, Professional Sound and Video Technology. Clayton Barefoot. Jamie Daniel Bate. Robert Paul Cathcart. Sarah Jane Cherry. Mark John Crouch. Scott Graham Deeming. Andrew Scott Dickinson. Jeffrey Doncaster. Darrell Lee Douglas. Richard Paul Edwards. Paul Spencer Everett. Damien Alexander Green. Addison Jane Houghton. Stephen Hume. Matthew Jones. Simon Mahoney. Clive Stephen Sear. Ashley Peter Slade. Benedict James Smith. And Martin Chappell. That's it. Sorry, I seem to have lost my place. Sorry, Mark, have I finished that? Right, Derek Taylor. I apologise. Matthew Amos Waghorn. HND Total Quality Management. Richard Mark Cooper. Paul Eppens. Brian Nolan Hambley. Timmy Tope Harry. Stephen Linlass. Lee MacDonald. Catherine Mern. Lee James Murray. Stephen James Ross. Duncan Paul Smith. Rebecca Louise Tate. Simon Timperley. Okay. Paul Higgins. Now, the HNC Building Services Engineering, Heating, Ventilation and Air Conditioning. John Michael Bradley. James Bernard Collins. Jason Corcoran. Ward Hampson Gosling. Lorraine Green. Anthony Robert Hollingsworth. Christopher Robert Johnson. Simon David Leisman. Kevin Sean Morrissey. Ian Michael Oakes. Anthony O'Donnell. Adrian Palmer. Peter Graham Stacey. Stephen James Thomas. Jason Carl Trippier. HNC Engineering, Advanced Manufacturing Technology. Michael Cordwell. Nigel Harvey Emsley. Stephen Gary Jones. Neil Manning. Martin Kenneth Staley. Barry Mark Turner. HNC Engineering, Electrical and Electronic Maintenance. Colin Andrew Appleby. Michael Best. Lawrence George Coase. Dennis Faulkner. Richard Matthews. John Charles Roos. HNC Total Quality Management. Christopher Anderson. John David Birchall. Michael Joseph Brotherton. Gail Susan Delaney. Brian James Donnell. Patrick Francis Doyle. Errol Formili. Nicholas Stephen Huntley Gage. Clive David Gallagher. Callum Anthony Goff. Peter Harrison. Patrick Hyland. Mark Raymond Keeley. Graham John King. Les Fitzgerald Bourne. Asif Jawed Nasser. Eric Stewart Robertson, sorry. Judith Sefton. Raymond Simcox. Gerald Stephen Stafford. Paul Higgins. Simon Timperley. No? Sorry, I haven't got them. Elenisi Abdenasser, sorry, and Gary Mossman.
Thanks.
BTEC's CED, Building Services Engineering, Heating, Ventilation and Air Conditioning. Nigel Birchall. Stuart Ian Leatherborough. David Marland. Mark Radcliffe. Tony David Sherlock. Andrew David Smith. Paul Walker. Oh, that's it. Thank you, Chairman.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University and this college, I confer awards upon all those eligible who are absent from this ceremony. As we move towards the closure of the ceremony, I remind you that you are very welcome to join us for refreshments back on the main campus of the college at Frederick Road. I declare this ceremony closed.